Yo, what's up, guys? That is right, as you saw in the intro. This is a new series, UA NBA Unlimited Action NBA, and today we are going to do a playoffs bracket. As you can see, this is on picks.nba.com/bracket challenge, and I'm going to give you my picks to win each playoff series and eventually go on and win the NBA Finals. So we're just going to go down the line here, starting with the Western Conference. The number 1 seed, Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic versus the number 8 seed, Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns. This one seems pretty obvious to me. I think Denver wins in 5 just because of the power of Jokic, who's a possible MVP, but I think that's going to Joel Embiid, but we'll get more into that later. I just think that Nikola Jokic is going to be too much for Anthony Edwards in the pick and roll and um, Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. So I got Denver in 5. It could go to 6, but I got Denver in 5. Next, a pretty even matchup, if you ask me. Phoenix versus the Clippers. This really all depends uh, on if Kawhi balls out or if PG-13 is a good game. But Phoenix is just too good. I got Phoenix in 6. It could Phoenix could sweep them for all I know. I mean, I don't know, but Phoenix they're too good, and I hate to say it because I'm not a Phoenix fan, but they got D Book, they got Chris Paul, they got DeAndre Ayton, and they have, of course, Kevin Durant. Next, we got Sacramento versus Golden State. Sacramento has done really good this year, and I don't know how, because De'Aaron Fox just out of nowhere is a really great player. I mean, he was always good and he always had great potential, but now he's the most clutch player in the NBA. Did not see that coming. And Domantas Sabonis is proving to everybody that he's a top 4 center in the NBA. But then again, can you really ever go up against the Golden State Warriors? At the time of recording this, I'm a little bit late, so the first 2 days of the playoffs has already happened. So all of these games have already had a game one, and Golden State lost against Sacramento in game one, but it was a very close game, and I'm afraid that that's going to be a repeating thing. But I, I got to root on Steph Curry, and they also have like the best sixth man, if you ask me. I don't care about any other sixth man. Sixth man of the year. I mean, the reason that he probably isn't going to be sixth man of the year is because he isn't sometimes a sixth man. Like he's sometimes in the starting lineup, and that's because Jordan Poole is an X factor. And I think Golden State's just a well-rounded team, and they could do it in 7. Next, we got the 2-seeded Memphis Grizzlies versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers won the first game. John Morant got hurt towards the end of the game trying to dunk on Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis also got hurt earlier in the game with his shoulder. But this is a tough one because Memphis has talent, but so does the Lakers, and the Lakers are on a streak, and someone needs to shut Memphis up. But I got Lakers in 6. I think the Lakers might pull off the upset. And now we got Milwaukee versus Miami, and this one's tough because I don't know the status of Giannis's injury because Giannis got injured in their game last night, meaning or leading to the Heat winning. And I don't like the Heat right now because, as you can see by my hat, I am a Bulls fan, and we were so close to beat Miami in that last play-in game. We were up by 1 with like 3.5 minutes left, and then we lost by 12. Only the Bulls could do that. But that doesn't mean that Miami is good enough to beat Milwaukee unless Giannis is out for the season. So I'm gonna rely on a video I saw of a doctor talking about Giannis's possible injury and say that he's gonna be back. So I got Milwaukee. I'm just gonna say Milwaukee in 7 to be safe because Milwaukee could have easily done it in 4, but I don't know how many games it's gonna be until Giannis comes back. For all I know, the Heat could go up 3-0, and then Giannis will come back and then just destroy the Heat single-handedly. And then we got the 4-seeded Cavaliers versus the 5-seeded Knicks. So I'm really happy to see this Donovan Mitchell Jalen Brunson matchup. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell is probably going to cook Jalen Brunson. But then you got the X Factor Julius Randle, who's playing through an injury, but he's had like a resurgence season. Before this season, he was really just old and washed up, if you ask me. But I I feel like Cleveland should win because they're kind of a super team, but I feel like they're still too young and don't have the experience yet. So I could see it going either way. Let's see, what is this thing? This 70 79% of people say that Cleveland are going to win, which makes sense, but they're already down 0-1. And the Knicks, I mean, I guess I got Cleveland in 7, but that's going to be a really tough one. That really could go either way. Then we got 3-seeded Philadelphia 76ers and should be MVP Joel Embiid and James Harden, who's kind of washed up, versus the Brooklyn Nets, the team of absolutely nobody since they traded away Kyrie and KD. And Kyrie ruined Luka's life, and KD made Phoenix's life much better. So now they got Mikal Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith, and they got some of these good role players. They got Spencer Dinwiddie, all these guys, but there's no way Philadelphia is going to win in 4. I mean, they might win in 5, maybe give Brooklyn a game, but Brooklyn's not going to win unless Mikal Bridges drops like 70 points every night. There's no way. Then we got Boston versus Atlanta. That's an easy one. Boston in 4. As we saw in game 1, Boston just terrorized Atlanta. It was terrible. And then we got Denver versus Phoenix. Not much to say about that. You know what? Phoenix in 6. Phoenix is going to dethrone the number 1 seed Denver Nuggets, and it's because Chris Paul is going to destroy Jokic in that pick and roll. He is not going to let that pass get through. And that's because of his legendary status and his experience. And then, of course, you got the crazy threat of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Now we got Golden State versus the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is a really tough one because we know the history between Golden State and LeBron, and it's been very back and forth between those two teams. Well, that was when LeBron was on the Cavaliers, and we can't really say. It's hard to say whether he had more help on the Cavs versus the Lakers because the Lakers are doing pretty good right now. But again, as long as Curry plays to the best of his ability, and so does Clay, and so does Draymond, and so does Kevon Looney, and so does Jordan Poole, and so does Kuminga and DiVincenzo, it should be easy for them. I mean, LeBron is gonna get some chase down blocks like he did in the first game against Memphis, which was really reminiscent of him versus was that Iguodala that he blocked with the crazy chase down, or was that Draymond? I don't know. He blocked the crap out of someone. But I don't know. I'm really stumped on Golden State versus Los Angeles because the thing is that if Anthony Davis is going to be playing really good like he was earlier on in the season for a while, like when LeBron was out with injury, if he can play like that, Kevon Looney is not going to stop him, and that could win the series right there. And if LeBron decides he feels like dropping 50, that's going to win them the series too. But I don't know if that's going to happen, so I got Golden State in the 7. Which this is probably all going to come back to haunt me when Phoenix gets squashed or something, or Golden State loses to Sacramento. But now we got Milwaukee versus Cleveland, and in the next couple of years, Cleveland will win in 4. But as long as Giannis is healthy, I don't think that the Cavaliers are going to have much of an answer for Giannis. So I got Milwaukee in 6. Then we got Philadelphia versus Boston. As much as I'd love for Philadelphia to kick Boston to the curb, Boston's going to win, probably in 6. And then we got Phoenix versus Golden State. This is tough because we got playmaker Chris Paul against shooter Steph Curry. We got all around good NBA player Devin Booker. He really doesn't have one specific talent versus shooter Klay Thompson. Then we got, I don't know if Wiggins is playing. Whoever's running at their small forward is not going to be as good as Kevin Durant, but they might be running Kevin at power forward. I don't know. Whatever. It's going to be tough, but it really just depends on if Curry and Klay are having nights where they're putting up record threes. If they're shooting 14 if they're making 14 threes a game, then they're going to win. And if they're struggling to shoot and they have no one on their team that can lock down Kevin Durant. Lily. Well, here's Lily, I guess. If they have no one that's going to be able to lock down Kevin Durant on defense, then that should be an easy series for Phoenix. But I just don't like the Suns. I'm going to be honest. The Suns would probably win this series, but just for my own pride, I'm putting in Golden State Warriors winning in 7. Then we got Milwaukee versus Boston. It's probably going to be Boston, but I'm going Milwaukee because I hate Boston. So then we got Golden State versus Milwaukee, the 2022 NBA Finals winner versus the 2021 NBA Finals winner. And I got the Golden State Warriors, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Lily, stop it. And that's my thing right there. If you like it, comment that you like it. If you don't like it, comment what you would change, but don't be mean about it because I've dealt with enough mean comments. Lily, what are you doing? Why do you have to lick my computer? Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I have the Golden State Warriors going back-to-back, although highly unlikely and definitely won't happen. I'm a Golden State Warriors fan, so I'm just going to say that they're going to win. I don't care. I really don't care if I'm wrong, if I'm being honest, because they're going to lose anyways. I just don't know where. Because they could lose to Sacramento. They could easily lose to the Lakers. They could easily lose to Phoenix. And they could very easily lose to Milwaukee. So it really depends on if they play as good as they did in last year's playoffs. But obviously, there's some things that I'm not going to be wrong about. I might be wrong about how many games it's going to take, but Denver's beating Minnesota. No doubt about that. And Philadelphia is beating the Knicks. The Nets, no doubt about it. And Boston's definitely beating the Hawks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only thing I would say that there's no way that Miami's... Lily, stop licking my computer. Oh, my God. The only thing that's stopping me from saying that Milwaukee's definitely going to beat Miami is I don't know what the deal is with Giannis. So, but if he was not injured, then Milwaukee in 4, if I'm being honest. But I'm shocked that I have to actually think about Sacramento as being a threat because Sacramento last year was absolutely garbage, and now all of a sudden they're the 3 seed. First time in 16 years making the playoffs. It's like, what? And it's not even like they just very barely clinched it through the play-in or something. No, they're the 3 seed in the West. They're better than the Phoenix Suns. What? So I don't know. But thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited for this new series of NBA, NBA. But yeah, that's it. Unlimited action out.